So, on some of the blogs of where JUX and Miss Priscilla's son's 40th birthday celebration was going down, some people were confused. They were asking, will it happen after 6 months? Will the other kids receive the same treatment, etc.? So I took some of the comments and we're going to talk about that, you guys, okay? Of course, a shout out to the people who, of course, were enlightening and they were saying it's probably their culture. There are people who are saying it's probably the religion, etc. We're going to read all of them comments. And personally, I feel like if you don't understand something, demonizing it or making it like an evil thing or like a bad thing sometimes makes you feel more weird. If you don't understand something, you're just 2 steps away from just going on the internet and searching and finding out like what's up with this party now. You know, if you don't understand why the son is receiving this 40th, you can just go on the internet and find out, why that is happening. Of course, when you don't see any information is when you can come out with your own conclusion. So I'm going to read to you some of these comments that I saw that personally I feel like not understanding something and coming out with your own assumption is coming from both sides, both from Tanzania or also from Nigeria, some. One person said, one thing is to marry, another is to marry who will help you protect what you've worked hard for over the years. Celebration is good, but celebrating unnecessary things is alarming. Even Dangote no celebrate rich these two. Cut it down and invest more. Baby girl, you should have known that this 40th day is very, very important to Muslim Tanzanians, just like the 7-day naming in Yoruba culture. Meme. Another person said, of course, replied to her saying it's just like the normal 7-day naming ceremony and 40 days child dedication. Sister, rest please. Of course, another one said, go like rest auntie. Another one, what if that's their culture? Of course, the person who posted that said, did you read naming ceremony? Try read first. My thing is, right? Personally, I feel like the real reason why even the naming ceremony, it wasn't posted on social media, it probably still is, just like the gender reveal, it's just that they haven't posted it. It's because out of respect for JUX, they did not post it. Another person said, okay, hold on. Are you serious right now? This is like naming ceremony and you don't tell people how to spend their money. Exactly my thing. JUX is a 35-year-old man who has worked hard enough to reach where he is. And you trying to, I don't know why. It will be people who are Before you comment your rubbish, y'all do your own naming ceremony, child dedication, and baptism, and post about it without anyone policing you. Let this couple be. If you feel like they do too much or post too much, hold the bloggings whom anything about JP bring them engagement and put food on their table. Honey, I will not lie. JP fans definitely bring in some check. And that's why we talk about anything about them. Include if they fart, I go talk up. If they spit, I go talk up. If they cry, I go. In fact, if I see them, I go talk up. How about that? Well, here's my thing, right? Every blog have those people when they post, they have that engagement. And fortunately for JP, everybody find engagement wherever people are talking about them. And you can't blame them at this point, okay? They're just living their best lives. Another person said, In the presence of wealth, any little thing is a celebration. My landlord once invited me for his child's first work ceremony. These people are funny. Oh. This one is saying the landlord have invited him to come and celebrate the first walk, the first steps of the babies. Another one said, once they marry each other, we no go rest. This social media wants them marry each other. Okay, I must admit, since JUX and Priscilla got married, like everything they've done, everything. I've trended both in Tanzania, let me just say East Africa, and also in Nigeria. And I think it's being talked about in these two sides of Africa is what is making other people interesting into wanting to talk about them, because it's not only crazy on YouTube. Honey, if you go on TikTok, it's crazy. Another person said, I hope the rest of their kids get the same treatment. I really want to talk about that. Another one said, be like a Tanzanian babe, I go marry now. Now everything be party, I beg, dash me money if you don't know what to do with it. Another one said, then there is me, haven't celebrated shit since birth or more. Okay, to some extent, I feel like there are people who are clowning and they're just, being weird at this point, because I'm like, if you don't understand something, why don't you go to that person's country, okay, since you don't understand Juma Jux's culture, because you must understand that Tanzanian culture is not like Nigerian culture. And if you don't understand it, just to go on the blogs of that side and try and search, like, do people do this? Is this something that just started? Because nowadays I see celebrities do birthdays and celebrations. When they buy a car, they do a celebration. We have a socialite in Kenya called Vera Sidika. When she did the boob lift, she did a celebration for it. Some people even celebrate 3 months of the child being in the world. They celebrate that. First baby words. It's crazy, but you can't dictate to someone, especially planned babies, okay? When the baby comes at the right time, when it's something that you've planned and you foresee it. Juke saying that he saw everything before it even happened. Those are some of the things that you just sit back and say, my wedding is going to be like this, and this is going to happen, and this is going to happen. These are some of the things that him and Priscilla must have seen. So when they're making it happen, because they have the capability of it happening, and it's not their fault, the fact that everything that they do, no matter how small, is trending. I mean, there's nothing we can do at this point than to just enjoy the good scenery. At least with us bloggers, they're giving us a field day. And honey, I cannot complain any much less. In fact, after 3 months, do them again. After 6 months, do it again. Because let's just keep it a buck, right? Whatever Jukes and Prissy is doing is also marketing them. It also, because Priscilla is an influencer, she's trying to do YouTube, she's big on Instagram or Snapchat. With her constantly being on mention, it's bringing on them sponsorship. Same as Juma Jukes, wherever he drop up music, most of the time he doesn't even need this much, what do we call it? He doesn't need that much promotion because his name is already hot out there. That's why he's been dropping music left, right, and center. And all of his songs are hitting millions. You know what I'm saying? So in as much as it's helping, bloggers to post it, it's also helping them, because if it wasn't helping them and they're just posting it, removing money off your pocket all the time and you not getting something in return, nobody likes that. Even billionaires, they don't like that. But they're doing this because it's bringing in money in their pockets. Even rich people. When you see someone holding or rather putting up a very expensive wedding or a birthday, it's because they know the presence alone will go past what they invested in that wedding or in that birthday. I see that way. Everything is business nowadays. Everything now business. So you must spend them to collect them later on. And you can't be mad because they're being smart about how they're putting their names out there. Very, very nice strategy. Again, keep it classy, stay messy. Let's chop it down in the comment section. And of course, I love you to the moon and back. Ciao.